This is a portable cabin in a car park in Stoke-on-Trent. Inside, 12 employees are building something the world has never seen. The year is 2001. The dot-com bubble just burst. Billions evaporated overnight, and this woman just mortgaged her family's entire business. $15 million on a domain name she bought from eBay for $2,000. Most people think London's wealth belongs to the royals at Buckingham Palace, the Russian oligarchs, the old money hiding in Mayfair penthouses. They are looking at the wrong place. 2 hours north of London, in the industrial ruins of Britain's pottery capital, is a woman who earns more money in one day than most people earn in a lifetime. $1 million every single day before tax. She pays more in personal taxes than entire FTSE 100 companies. She built a gambling empire that handles $65 billion in bets annually. That's more than the GDP of entire countries. This is Denise Coates, co-CEO of Bet365, the richest woman CEO in the United Kingdom. And most people have never heard of her. This is not a story about luck. This is a story about calculated risk. Vision when the world saw collapse. Timing when everyone else was too afraid to move. We are tracking the company filings, the property records, the jaw-dropping salary disclosures that make headlines every single year. This is how a cashier from a betting shop became Britain's wealthiest businesswoman. In 1 year, she made $420 million. That's more than Mark Zuckerberg, Sundar Pichai, and Tim Cook combined. To understand Denise Coates, you need to understand where she came from. This is not inherited wealth. This is not Eton and Oxford. This is working-class Britain. September 26, 1967. Stoke-on-Trent, a city built on two things: pottery and football. Denise's grandfather was a miner. Her father, Peter Coates, was the youngest of 14 children. His mother died when he was 2 years old. Peter played football in his youth. He hung up his boots at 23 and had to earn a living. He started buying betting shops, small operations in working-class neighborhoods. This was the family business. Provincial racing, cash-based, tight margins, grinded-out work. Denise is in high school, Sandbach High. After school, she works the cash register at her father's betting shops. She's not just collecting bets, she's studying patterns, learning the odds, understanding the business. But here's the thing, Denise isn't just street smart, she's brilliant. She earns a first-class degree in econometrics from the University of Sheffield. That's one of the most rigorous mathematical disciplines in economics. Most graduates go into banking, investment firms. Denise goes back to the family betting shops. She becomes an accountant. By 1995, at just 28 years old, she's managing director. Under her leadership, provincial racing expands to 50 betting shops. It's profitable, it's stable, but Denise sees something her competitors don't. The future isn't brick and mortar. The future is digital, and she's about to bet everything on it. It's the late 1990s. The internet is exploding. Companies with nothing but a website are worth billions. Investors are throwing money at anything with .com in its name. Then March 2000 happens. The .com bubble bursts. Billions vanish overnight. Tech companies collapse. Fortunes evaporate. The internet, everyone thinks, was just hype, a bubble. Over. Denise Coates thinks the exact opposite. January 2000. While the world is panicking, Denise is on eBay. She buys a domain name, bet365.com. The price, $2,000. £2,000 for a domain that will become one of the most valuable digital properties in the world. But buying a domain is the easy part. Building the technology, the platform, the infrastructure, that requires real money. Denise goes to her father. She has a proposal, bet everything on her vision. The family mortgages their betting shops. They take out a $15 million loan from the Royal Bank. This is not a small bet. This is the entire family business. Everything they've built. If she's wrong, they lose it all. March 2001, Bet365 launches, not from a fancy London office, not from a Silicon Valley garage, from a portable cabin in a car park in Stoke-on-Trent. 12 employees. That's it. While William Hill and Ladbrokes, the giants of British betting, are slow to adapt, Denise is moving fast. She makes a critical decision. Own the technology, don't license it, build it in-house. This gives Bet365 complete control. They can innovate, they can move faster than anyone else. Most people in 2001 are skeptical. Why bet online when you can walk to the shop? But Denise understands something fundamental. Online betting is private. It's accessible 24/7. You can offer more betting options than any physical location ever could. She's betting on human behavior, on convenience, on the future. She's right. 2005. 4 years after launch, Bet365 becomes so successful that the family makes a bold decision. They sell every single physical betting shop, all of them, to Coral for £40 million. They use that money to pay off the Royal Bank of Scotland loan. They go completely online. The timing is perfect. The UK passes the Gambling Act of 2005. It creates a legal framework for online gambling. Bet365 is positioned to explode. Denise pioneers something called live in-play betting. You're watching a football match. The score changes. The odds change in real time. You can place bets while the game is happening. This is not just gambling. This is entertainment. This is engagement. The growth is insane. 2011, Bet365 live streams over 18,000 events. They become Stoke-on-Trent's largest private employer, over 1,900 staff. 2012, 10 million customers. Today, over 100 million customers worldwide. The company handles more than $65 billion in bets every year. Let that sink in. £65 billion. That's more than the GDP of Croatia, more than Uruguay, more than most countries. Year ending March 2024, Bet365 reports revenues of $3.71 billion, pre-tax profits of $596.3 million. Denise owns 58% of the company. Her brother John is co-CEO. He handles legal and financial operations. Her two sisters, Moira and Siobhan, each own 5%. This is not a public company. This is a private family empire. Controlled, profitable, staggeringly successful. Now, we get to the part that makes headlines, the part that sparks controversy, the part that breaks records. Denise Coates' salary. 2020, Denise pays herself $421 million. Before tax, the highest salary ever recorded in United Kingdom history. Let's put this in perspective. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, one of the most valuable companies on earth. 2023 compensation, $63.2 million. Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, the AI chip giant, 2024 compensation, $34.2 million. Denise Coates earned more than both of them combined, then doubled it. Her 2020 salary was higher than the combined salaries of every single FTSE 100 CEO. The criticism is immediate, fierce. Luke Hildyard, director of the High Pay Center, calls it obscene, says it lacks moral justification. But here's what the critics miss. Denise built this company. She owns over half of it. She mortgaged everything to fund it. And unlike most billionaires who take minimal salaries and hide behind stock options, Denise takes her income as salary. Why? Because she pays taxes on it. 2022. The Coates family pays $481.7 million in personal taxes. Denise has topped the Sunday Times tax list 3 years in a row. Since 2016, she's paid almost $1.3 billion in taxes. She is the single largest individual taxpayer in the United Kingdom. While competitors operate offshore in Gibraltar or Malta to dodge taxes, Denise keeps Bet365 in Stoke-on-Trent. She employs over 7,000 people. Recent years, her salary has decreased. Year ending March 2024, $94.7 million in salary, $64 million in dividends. Total, $158.7 million. Even with a pay cut, she still out-earns the most powerful CEOs on the planet. Denise Coates' influence extends far beyond betting. In 2006, Bet365 purchased Stoke City Football Club for $1.7 million. The club holds deep sentimental value for the family. Peter Coates had been a majority shareholder in the 1980s and 1990s, but sold his stake in 1999. Buying it back was about more than business. It was about legacy. Since 2006, the Coates family has invested over $338 million into Stoke City. They recently cleared $160 million of the club's debt. While the team has not won major trophies, the family's commitment to the club is unwavering. Denise also runs the Denise Coates Foundation, formerly the Bet365 Foundation. It is one of the largest private charitable organizations in the UK. By 2014, the foundation had donated $100 million to 20 British charities. To date, total contributions have exceeded $750 million. The foundation supports medical research, disaster relief, education, and cultural projects. It funded the Douglas Macmillan Hospice in Stoke, supported British humanitarian organizations like Oxfam and CAFOD, and provided relief for victims of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. In 2022-2023, Bet365 donated $4.2 million to the foundation. This is not performative philanthropy, this is systemic giving. And it is done quietly. Denise Coates rarely gives interviews. She avoids the spotlight. She doesn't attend celebrity galas or post on Instagram. She is, in the words of the Financial Times, the quiet queen of online betting. Unlike other billionaires who flaunt their wealth, Denise Coates lives a remarkably private life. She still resides in Stoke-on-Trent. She is married to Richard Smith, who serves as a director of Stoke City Football Club. Details about children and personal life are closely guarded. What we do know is this: Denise owns multiple helicopters. For a woman who lives in Stoke and runs a global empire, private aviation is not a luxury, it is a necessity. She does not own flashy penthouses in Mayfair or yachts in Monaco. Her wealth is functional, not ostentatious. She works every day. She is still deeply involved in the day-to-day operations of Bet365, overseeing product development and technology. She is not a figurehead, she is the engine. In 2012, Denise was appointed a Commander of the Order of the British Empire, CBE, for services to the community and business. She received an honorary doctorate from Staffordshire University. In 2013, she was named one of the 100 most powerful women in the UK by BBC Radio 4's Woman's Hour. In 2019, she was inducted into the Sports Betting Hall of Fame. But these honors mean less to her than the business itself. Bet365 is her legacy. Denise Coates' wealth has not come without scrutiny. The gambling industry is heavily regulated, and Bet365 has faced criticism. In April 2023, Bet365 was fined $582,000 by the UK Gambling Commission for failing to protect vulnerable customers and prevent potential money laundering. The company implemented stronger safeguards and compliance measures. But the broader question remains: is it ethical for one person to earn $421 million in a year from an industry that can cause addiction and financial ruin? Critics argue that gambling companies profit from human weakness, that the most profitable customers are often the most vulnerable, that Denise Coates' fortune is built on the losses of millions. Defenders counter that Bet365 operates in a legal, regulated industry, that the company has robust, responsible gambling measures, that Denise pays more in taxes than almost anyone in the country and gives millions to charity. The debate is not simple. What is undeniable is that Denise Coates has built one of the most profitable businesses in the UK. She did it without venture capital, without public shareholders, without losing control. She bet on herself and won. As of December 2024, Denise Coates' net worth is estimated at $9.5 billion. Together, the Coates family has a combined fortune of over $13 billion. They are the 20th richest family in the United Kingdom, according to the Sunday Times Rich List. Denise is the 6th richest woman in the UK, behind heiresses to Tetra Pak, Heineken, and Primark fortunes. But here's the difference: Denise didn't inherit her wealth. She built it from scratch, in a porta-cabin in a car park. She is one of the richest self-made women in the world. Bet365 continues to grow. The company is expanding into the United States, a market with enormous potential. Though progress has been slower than expected, Bet365 has the financial firepower and technology to compete. The company operates in over 30 countries. It has offices around the world, but the headquarters remain in Stoke-on-Trent in a 120-meter-long angular gray building just off a roundabout in the suburb of Etruria. Denise Coates is now 57 years old. She shows no signs of slowing down. She is still co-CEO alongside her brother. She is still the driving force behind the company. She is still earning salaries that make headlines and paying taxes that fund hospitals and schools across Britain. Denise Coates is the richest woman CEO in the United Kingdom. But she doesn't live in London, she lives in Stoke-on-Trent. She didn't go to Oxford or Cambridge. She didn't work at Goldman Sachs. She worked in her father's betting shops, cashing out tickets, learning the business. She studied econometrics, not for prestige, for understanding. She saw opportunity when the world saw collapse. March 2000, the dot-com crash. Everyone running for the exits. Denise walked in. She bet $15 million on a vision. Built proprietary technology, scaled globally, and she never gave up control. This is what separates the rich from the wealthy. The rich get lucky, the wealthy see the future. From a portable cabin in a car park to the highest salary in British history. From 12 employees to over 7,000. From $2,000 on eBay to a $9.5 billion fortune. Denise Coates didn't break the glass ceiling. She bought the building. She's not flashy, she's not loud, she's not on Instagram, but she's the richest woman CEO in Britain, and her empire isn't slowing down. So, what do you think? Is Denise Coates proof that the biggest players in business aren't always the loudest or the most visible? Let us know below. And if you want to follow the stories of women building fortunes on their own terms, click subscribe for more.